Lynedoch Eco Village was set up around housing, but really about learning at the very, very heart. The primary school and the master's program sharing this building. And in time that grew into the many other programs that are here today. And so I think our most precious programs obviously start with the infant community and the children's house. The primary school is really the heart of the village, and so it's at the very center of the building, the center of the whole space. And then lastly we have our youth program, where for a long time children after high school from different high schools can come in the afternoons and have a safe space. I think across all those programs you'll just get the sense here of how children are held, but also they're just the living pulse of everything that happens here.
Children are started in 2000. The need was there for like quality education for obviously farm worker children. The 0 to 3 environment is where we take children from about like 4 months to like 2.5. So in that environment we also do the Montessori method, and in the 3 to 6 obviously it's from 3 years to 6 years old. There's also a full functioning Montessori space.
The Montessori method, as it's taught for children sort of below 6, is a very tactile, tangible way of learning.
For instance, if you're going to learn about a leaf, you're going to learn by seeing the leaf, feeling the leaf, smelling the leaf, seeing the leaf in nature.
It's all about following the child and taking the adult away from the environment, so we just have an opportunity to watch, observe, and then we take our lead from what the child is showing us.
So there's a freedom of choice, so you choose your work. You choose what you want to work with, obviously work with guidance.
We have a number of different materials that will gather their interest, and so we find that this helps build both gross motor skills, fine motor skills. Every day they have 3 hours of unlimited work.
You can go and have a snack and come back to work, because sometimes you get lethargic and sleepy, or you can't concentrate because you're hungry.
And as the environment is set over 3 years, it gives the child an unlimited time. So we don't say by 5 you have to have learned this. They have all the same opportunities that you would in any other school, but it's done in a way that the children feel like it's a game, it's fun. They call it their work, but if you were to go in as an adult, you would see that they are just filled with joy.
The children from the children's house are always integrated across the campus. So you'll notice little kind of groups wandering down into the food gardens and through the woodlands.
It would be totally wrong for them to not have access to that, to not have an appreciation for the plants, the soil. By them being part of the cycle, they then want to go back. They clean the vegetables, they chop them, and they want to eat them. The children have started to enjoy eating vegetables. My child really does want to eat carrots, how bizarre. Particularly here in the Lynedoch Valley, each child has their own needs, and as the adults in the environment, it's our job to work out what that is and how we can meet them. It takes us to a different place. We look at things through a really positive lens, not at there's a big problem. We find a lot of the children in the valley, they find it very difficult to be confined to a space and asked to sit still for ages. We can provide so many different things for them to do that keeps them moving and busy. And with the children from the valley, the freedom within the boundaries allows them to really flourish.
In a perfect world, we would just like children to be able to be independent and have the skills from a young age to actually just make the choices and be independent and can fend for themselves and make decisions for themselves and actually grow from negative experiences instead of seeing it as a failure.
Yes, we first have the Lynedoch Primary School, government subsidized. So Lynedoch development combined with Fruitenberg Primary School, and then we think is the right moment to get a school that can serve our children need, and Spark at that time was the school that we get into the building.
In 2016, we opened Spark Lynedoch. SPARK has 5 core values, so it's an acronym for service, persistence, achievement, responsibility, and kindness. Every school's got a unique 6th core value. Ours is sustainability, being based at this beautiful Sustainability Institute. So we try and incorporate it into as much of our learning time as possible. So SPARK really focuses on individualized learning. Children are benchmarked on the level that they are on termly. So children are grouped into learning styles and ability styles, and we plan to support these groups individually. One of the amazing things we get to do is use these beautiful learning spaces, whether they're doing a project in the food gardens with Yoli, or they would like to use the dam to explore, living organisms in the water. We do have a number of children who may require individual support, maybe due to their learning style or a minor challenge that's causing them to not be on par with their peers. They would then get additional support through the learning support program. We have children from the local Lynedoch Valley who attend. We also then have children who come in from the town, Stellenbosch, Somerset West, Kells River. We have children coming in as far as Belleville, Gugulethu, Khayelitsha.
School fees at SPARK, our parents can't afford. So we pay the whole amount of school fees, and we pay books and stuff. So the parents only donate a small amount, like 100 rand for the whole year. Also, we give them food in the morning because I believe a child can't learn on a hungry tummy. They get breakfast and they get a real proper lunch.
Doing the cooking for the children, that means a lot to me, really. To be able to cook the food for them, to prepare it for them, even sometimes I dish up for them. It makes my heart warm up, man. Because sometimes you can see these children are really in need of food and hungry.
They come to me if they don't feel good about the class. They will come and tell me. If someone do something to them, they will come and tell me while I dish up for them.
Sometimes they will just come to me and say, "Hi, Auntie Megan," and they will just start chatting. They sometimes can't stop talking, but hey, I'm just listening.
And it's very important that you know the children and where they come from. So, we go to their houses, we talk to the parents. If there's a problem, we will call the parents in to come and sit in for a meeting. Oh, I love every bit of what I do.
Lynedoch United Football Club started back in 2007. It actually started with one of the boys carrying a knife to school.
One of the boys coming from the village had an opportunity to go to one of Stellenbosch's elite schools. Whilst he was at this school, there was an incident that occurred, something involving a knife, and that actually made the people from the village realize that our children need some form of a bridging course or a bridging something that will make this transition easier for them.
And with the help of Tracy Brooks and Eve Anneke, we started a youth aftercare program for boys called Changes. The one thing all the boys obviously had in common and wanted to do from day one was soccer. And in 2010, we officially registered Lynedoch United as a club. All the boys just wanted to be part of this team, and not the club specifically, but they wanted to belong to something that meant something for them. There was a little bit of a swagger in the step, they were confident, which we didn't see before. So for me, I think being part of this club meant for them being part of something greater than just finding your own way, getting into trouble. We were able to tackle a lot of things like social change, like fatherlessness, drug and alcohol abuse, and actually coaching the boys into being responsible decision makers, because I think ultimately that's what you want for any child, is to be able to make good decisions, because you can lay it on thick with all the rules and the do's and the don'ts, but it actually comes down to the child.
So the Youth Hub is for all high school children within the Lynedoch Valley.
This community is rich with trauma. So there is a lot of unspoken things that people just kind of had to feel and try to bridge these question marks. And we also try to build confidence. It's an onion, it has layers, there's many needs, and we try and address them as they pop up.
We try to create an environment where they feel safe and where they feel accepted, like they're not judged, and also try to give the children a sense of belonging.
Mondays they go into the garden with Yoli, she is incredible with them. Tuesdays we have boys and girls separate focus group.
Wednesdays we have our counselor doing group sessions with them. Thursdays they go out and they get involved in other programs at the Sustainability Institute.
And on Fridays we have what they say it's their strategic chill days.
Grown up the youth up children also. In the last 2 years, they changed a lot. They're more respectable. It's not like the other children that would just walk past, you don't greet. They will always come and greet me. How do you know? Where were you? You didn't come to dish up today. I said, hi, but I can't dish up every day. Me and Auntie Rose will share that dishing up.
Seeing them overcoming small things and being so excited about it is just incredible.
Our intention and our guiding purpose as a trust has always been to make quality education available to every child in this valley. And it shouldn't matter where you're born, what kinds of quality of education you get access to, because we know that that has such a huge impact on the type of life you can lead as you leave those programs. There's an old saying that goes, it takes a village to raise a child, but I think it takes a child to raise a village. And if we put children at the heart of what we do, we'll be more considered, more mindful, and more caring. And I think hopefully create the kinds of spaces where we can really unlock a love for learning that involves everyone and doesn't push out to the periphery some of the most essential tasks of humanity.